You guys may or may not know, but I love my space related topics, and you know the one country that's been going pretty crazy with all the announcements to do with space ventures and stuff, and that is China. And quite recently, this article was published. And it says China wants to amp up the ante on the space race with the Skyladder to Mars that can beam humans and cargo up in a capsule. Um, so we gotta keep we gotta keep in mind this. The title of this article is just silly because you can't make a Skyladder to Mars, but you can make one to the orbit of Earth. Um, You can't make one to connecting to Mars for obvious reasons. One is namely the distance, and the other is because of the orbit speed of the two planets. Um, and yeah, but other than that, let's get into it. So it's actually a Skyladder to Earth's orbit, which is still a very incredibly ambitious project, and I dare say the most ambitious project to date I've heard from any country actually. So it says China is looking to put a crew on Mars by 2033. Mind you, that's only a little bit more than 10 years away. So it's in the grand scheme of things, that's not a long time. That's pretty soon actually. Uh, so we're gonna see some crazy stuff from China in our lifetime if you're young, especially. And part of the process of getting there might just involve a Skyladder made of carbon nanotubes. So carbon nanotubes, that's a really strong material, so that makes sense. Um, and apparently, a Skyladder that can shoot humans and cargo into space in a capsule, which is very impressive as well. I don't want to click that. So it says the space race between the US and China is heating up, and the Chinese are bringing something new to the table, a Skyladder. Um, in my opinion, it's not really a space race because a space race would imply that both parties are at a similar level and doing equally ambitious projects. So while the US is ahead in some key technological areas, they've been really stagnant. They haven't really the projects that NASA and stuff have been undertaking. They're not really they're ambitious, but they don't really have the funding to undertake those ambitious projects. On the other hand, China has ambitious projects like this, and it has the funding to undertake it. And but as far as I know, NASA doesn't have any project that is as ambitious as this. I could be wrong though, but I haven't heard anything from them that's comparable to this. Like a Skyladder, that's on a whole different level to even a space station. The cost and it's gonna run into few like hundred, probably a trillion or something. If I'm being honest, but we'll see the numbers if it's this. According to Chinese media, Global Times, Wang Zhaojin. Guys, if I mispronounce the names, please do put in the comments, because I really want to learn that stuff. Um, the head of the country's top rocket manufacturer announced this week that China is not only looking to put a man on Mars by 2033, it's also working on the Skyladder. a delivery system made of carbon nanotubes. So that's a strong, minuscule carbon atom filaments. So carbon nanotubes is an incredibly strong material. It's perfect for this kind of project, um, which requires high tensile strength materials. But yeah, you need a whole video to go into that, and this is not a science channel. Um, and it can beam humans and cargo up to space for what it claims will be just 4% of the current cost. So that makes sense, of course. Rocket fuel is very expensive. Rockets themselves, of course, are very expensive, high tech stuff. This will be way more high tech, in my opinion, though. But because it's you don't have to worry about fuel and stuff, you can focus on the cargo, the amount of cargo you're lifting up there. Just that the I guess you could call it the conveyor belt or whatever that pulls up the cargo would have to be pretty damn strong. So that'd be the most high tech part, and most costly, I guess. Or like the actual structure itself would be the most costly, and the the lifting mechanism would be the second. Wang, who leads the state-owned China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology, did not elaborate on the specifics of how this Skylander all the way to Mars will work, but noted that it would be a starting point for future space voyages and transfer missions to the Red Planet. I wonder if that's for security reasons. They don't elaborate on this kind of stuff. It probably is. Um, Xinhua News posted a video earlier this year that modeled how the system could potentially function for journeys to the moon. In the video, a capsule has been seen being propelled from Earth to a Chinese space station, then leapfrogging its way to another space station before reaching a lunar landing pad. I think I've seen that video. Pretty sure. I definitely would have clicked if that got uploaded, but I don't remember. Chinese crewed missions to Mars will involve 5 expeditions in 2033, 2035, 2037, 2041, and 2043. So the last one's pretty far out. Per report from Chinese media outlet Sina News, the announcement of these missions follows China's success deploying a rover on Mars this year and its launch this month of 3 taikonauts to its space station. NASA is currently working on sending a crew to Mars in the 2030s. And that's the end of the article. So NASA is currently working on that. I guess 2030s, probably late 2030s, if you're being honest, and might never even happen anytime soon. Not even in the 2040s, perhaps, simply because of political gridlock in the U.S. and majorly funding issues. So, yeah. NASA has the capabilities, but they really lack funding. As for China, here we have 2033, 2035, 2037, 2041, and 2043. I think those are pretty good intervals to do these missions, because you got to remember that they're choosing so Earth and Mars align. Forgot exactly when and where, but they align, and that's when the time to travel between these two planets is like the smallest. So I think it's like only a few months or something. Um, I could be wrong, but yeah, that's when traveling to and from Mars. Not a few months, sorry, like far sooner than that, far shorter than that. But yeah, anyway, that's when traveling to and from Mars is the most feasible, because humans need life support and stuff. Very expensive as well. But considering their first mission, crewed mission, is pretty crazy. A crewed mission to Mars is like their first. I think, in my opinion, China will be the first country in history to send humans to Mars. Because I just don't think NASA will beat that 2033. While China has pretty much been on the mark like this whole time. So the fact that they are planning to send a crewed mission to Mars in 2033, just a bit more than 10 years from now, that is pretty crazy. That shows that there's an exponential increase in their, well, there's going to be, and there already is an exponential increase in their capabilities, technological capabilities, and I guess organizational, like political and stuff like that, capabilities. So, and they know that they know they're gonna like improve big time by then as well. So this is pretty crazy development. I'm very excited for this because once China announces something, they're gonna they ain't bluffing. So we know this is gonna happen. And this sky ladder thing, I believe, or when was it in? So the crewed, so humans to Mars by 2033, and so no specific information on when exactly this we'll see. But holy moly, this structure is going to be massive. I can just imagine the base as thick as the base of Burj Khalifa, and remains that thick all the way to the top. And it'll look cool as shit. It looks so like sci-fi. Absolutely amazing. Definitely the most ambitious project in human history so far. This makes all like the 1 kilometer tall skyscrapers and shit that were planned in Japan and stuff like look tiny in comparison. So yeah, this is out there. Oh yeah, and I was planning on covering this announcement much earlier when this was shared to me, but I didn't have that time, and to be honest, I just didn't feel like making videos. This was, I think, 2 weeks ago. I found out about this, but apparently it was June 25th. See, it's weird that I guess people are not following China's space news that much. So yeah, that's all. I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll be making another recording today or next week, probably.